Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about The 100, this time episode 303, titled You Who Enter Here, which premiered Thursday, February 4th, 2016 on the CW. And guys, I really do not know what to think of this episode. I mean, my goodness. 15 minutes have passed since the episode ended for me, and I'm recording this now. So it's probably a few hours before you guys get to actually watch this. So with that in mind, keep that in mind. I've only had 15 minutes to process what the hell happened in this episode. So let's get started. 10-minute clock, and let's begin. So something new that we learned in this episode is actually we get confirmation from Clark herself that it's been 1 week since she's been brought to Polis. So it's been 1 week since the end of 302. So that's pretty much how long we had to wait. So that's pretty good gauging point. I really like when episodes actually tell you, okay, it's been this many days, if it doesn't immediately continue from where the last episode ended. So there's that. Okay, so the main focus for this episode has to revolve around a summit meeting happening in Polis, which is, I guess, the capital for the Grounders. So there's that. Kane, Abby, and a few of their troops are sent to go into the summit to represent Sky Crew. And while that's happening, they get to see Clark and everything, who she thinks is a prisoner in itself. And with the summit, basically, although Clark is very furious with Lexa, we see the first time they're interacting with each other in the episode, and rightfully so. And I really like that they brought up Mount Weather, how Lexa betrayed Clark and stuff like that, and how everything that Clark has been through in the last 3 months is all because of Lexa betraying her. Clark had to make the decision to kill everyone in Mount Weather because she didn't have the people that Lexa promised her. A whole bunch of repercussions for Lexa walking away that Clark had to deal with, and she's just not pleased about it. So there's that tension between them. But in the end, Lexa just comes out and tells Clark that she wants the Sky Crew to be considered as the 13th clan under her coalition. So Clark's struggling with that until she gets a deal from Rowan, which kind of makes her rethink everything. And it looks like she tells Kid and Abby in a very brief reunion that they need to become the 13th clan to get the protection of the other 12 clans and of Lexa. Because if they go to war against the Ice Nation, Sky Crew as a unit themselves won't make it. So there's that. And So we see that, and also in that brief little reunion, we see that Clark is not having it. Did you guys pick that up? Abby is thrilled to see her daughter. She wants to take her in, hug her, but Clark's like, she wants out of the hug quickly. She wants to get right down to business, and it's very, like, she doesn't want to see or get into a reminiscent type of mood with her mother. So I found that very interesting, and I wonder if you guys picked that up as well. Also, in regard to the summit, though, and the Ice Nation, we do see a few representatives, including Prince Rowan. We also see the Ice Queen herself, and we also learn that Echo, who was in the cage beside Bellamy in Mount Weather, she's part of Ice Nation. So we definitely see a few representatives and making their move on this massive chessboard. And speaking of that, we have a side adventure happening at Mount Weather. A few people from Farm Station have actually moved in, and it seems like Raven was called in to kind of fix the power supply and everything that's happening there. So we see Gina again, Bellamy's girlfriend. We also see St. Clair, who I guess you can kind of label him as Raven's boss back on the arc, or her mentor, or he was the one who she interned under, I think, or did some mentorship thing underneath his command. So there's that. He's dishing out orders and stuff like that. But we see a very devastating end for what happened at Mount Weather, and that completely blew me away. So now there is no more Mount Weather, which is kind of a shame too, because they had so much technology and there's so much things that they could use to their advantage to survive on the ground, and now they don't have that anymore. And I have to say, the whole time that whole countdown was happening within Mount Weather, and St. Clair was running after the Grounder, and Raven was hobbling behind him. I was so freaked out that Raven wouldn't make it, because I love Raven. I don't want to see her die. there's no one else in Mount Weather that I knew, except now I'm worried about Monty's mom. And then, well, there's Gina, but she didn't really stand a chance. But yeah, so moving on, most shocking moment has to be the fact that the Ice Nation assassin was actually targeting Mount Weather, not the summit meeting that we were led to believe, which was surprising. And yeah, and it was definitely weird that a grounder was able to not only locate where the self-destruct panel was, but the code sequence. And Clark brought that up later on, wondering how a grounder would know something like that. But we found out later on it's because Emerson, he's in league with the Ice Nation. Emerson, if you remember, he's the one that Clark had that whole oxygen tank threat, and then he was the one that tried to blow up the security hub to get to Clark before he radiated the whole mountain. But then he fled because he had the bone marrow transfusion, stuff like that. So he's the only mountain man alive. And because of that, he knew where all the codes were, and he took it to the Ice Nation. So that was a definite surprise. I wasn't expecting that. Echo's betrayal, was not expecting that at all. So that whole twist right there was just completely shocking, and it brought a few tears to my eyes when that explosion went off, because for a while there I thought St. Clair and Raven were going to get it too, but sadly it's all the unnamed farm station people that were inside having a happy meal in there. So there's that. Top 3 favorite moments. First one has to be Bellamy and Octavia. Their moment happens when she's sitting outside of Mount Weather's tunnel, and she lets it slip to Bellamy that she's gonna leave, and he shares this moment with her, saying that he understands that she has to leave when she says that she doesn't fit in with Arcadia, but he tells her that she'll always fit in with him. So she may not fit in with her surroundings, but no matter what, she can always find a fit with Bellamy. And I love that family moment between them after everything and all their differences between each other. I'm glad they had that moment. And it showed an ounce of acceptance, the fact that Bellamy realizes that they aren't going in the same direction, or they're not going to end up in the same place, because he seems to be getting into Arcadia business while she is going more into the grounders and stuff like that. So it's great for them to have that family moment. Another favorite moment I have to talk about is the Clark and Rowan scene. I definitely want to see a team up between them, and I thought we were going to get it in this episode. He approaches her with a deal, saying that if Clark kills Lexa, then he can get her out of Polis, and Clark basically gets an ally with the Ice Nation. So for a moment there, I thought she was going to take it, and I just really hope we get to see more of these two characters together in this type of setting, because I could definitely see him aligning himself with her at some point. But I really like the similarity between the two of them and stuff like that. I definitely like their dynamic for sure. Next favorite moment has to be Raven and St. Clair. It may seem overpowering at first, because we have the last time, or even the first time we've seen them, which was the last time we saw them together, was in a flashback back in episode 208, where he basically recruits Raven into G-Force, G2, G52 or something. I don't know, I can't remember, into this special mechanic unit that she was trying to be a part of. And he's basically showing his support, his faith in Raven when she thinks that she can't do anything or she gives up hope. I really like that he shows his support, that he still believes that she is the girl that he put his faith in a few years ago when he first recruited her. So I just really like the support, and it gave me a feeling that they weren't just a mentor-mentee type of dynamic. It seemed like he could be maybe like a semi-father figure, if that makes sense, or someone she could definitely look up to and put, I don't know how to say it. I just really like that dynamic between the two. So top 3 peak moments. it has to be the fact that Clark decides to stay in Polis. I mean, I was all for Clark dressed up in the grounder attire, the dress, and everything was perfect. Wasn't really crazy about the eye makeup. It seemed a little bit over the top. I prefer Lexa's eye makeup than the one Clark had, but I love Clark's dress. But the fact that she bowed down to Lexa, I did not like that. The fact that Clark was basically relinquishing her power to this commander who ultimately betrayed her. I did not like that at all. There goes the timer. I should have done 15 minutes. I didn't like that. When her own people were telling her to come back home so that she can help them prepare and fight together, she stays behind. While logically it makes sense, she's going to stay there to be a delegate for Arcadia and to make sure that Lexa keeps her word, since she previously has not done so, that we've seen. She betrayed Rowan, she betrayed Clark, and she killed a refusing Ice Nation delegate earlier. So I get why Clark needed to stay behind to kind of make sure that this new truce between them is enforced. But I did not like that she refused to go home. Even the standoffish manner between her and Bellamy when he's reminding her that Lexa betrayed them, that she should come home to her people, to their people. It's just, it reminded me so much of episode 209 where she's telling Bellamy to go infiltrate Mount Weather. Like that cold interaction between the two, which is such a disappointment after the Bellamy and Clark semi-reunion we got in the last week's episode. So just, I'm hurting the Bellark feels right now. It's just, I don't want Clark and Polis any longer. So there's that. Next peeved moment has to be Echo's betrayal. I definitely wasn't expecting it at all. I thought she would have had some loyalty to Bellamy because he did save her, ultimately. It wasn't just Lexa who made a deal with Mount Weather. It was Bellamy who initially got her out and saved her. And only Lexa just allowed for the safe passage out when she didn't actually get her hands dirty like Bellamy did to save Echo. So it's just, I guess it makes sense because she is Ice Nation. So they kind of look out for themselves and such. But the way she was built up, how she goes to Bellamy, how she's showing her loyalty to him, it was just a big 180, and I didn't like it. I was hoping for a friendship between the two, and now that's completely gone. Next peeve moment has to be that Emerson is now with the Ice Nation. Completely forgot that he was still alive, but now it makes sense. And it's just, where the hell has he been for 3 months? Was he in the Ice Nation the whole time? It's just, ugh. And he definitely seemed to have an invested interest in Clark. He asked specifically if she was at the mountain or if she was taken care of at Polis and stuff like that. So apparently Clark is where he wants her to be, and that is by Lexa, and Lexa's who the Ice Queen wants dead, and since he's with the Ice Queen, he wants her dead too. So yeah, I'm worried about that. What will I remember most about this episode? The fact that Sky Crew, aka Arcadia, is now part of the coalition. They are the 13th clan. So that was a big one there. Also, another one could be the fact that Clark holds a knife to Lexa's throat. Gotta love that, because at least then she still held her anger in about Clark, or about Lexa betraying her. So random questions. I know this is getting long. I should have done 15 minutes. But first question. Is Clark really on Lexa's side, or is she like a double agent of some sort? Like, the way I want to think of it is maybe how Bellamy was like the Trojan horse in Mount Weather, kind of, with Clark being the Trojan horse instead. So I'm wondering if it's going to be something like that or not. Next question. Now, putting all emotional connections aside, all shipping desires and whatnot, just for this question, but did anyone else wonder about what would happen if Clark did take Rowan up on his offer to kill Lexa and join the Ice Nation? I thought it might have been a great story to see just where that would go, or see how, because Rowan didn't mention that Clark only knows about the Ice Nation through Alexa's words, although Rowan claims that Alexa is worse than his mother. So it depends on perspective, so I'm wondering which is the truth in regards to who paints which leader as such. So there's that. Next question, which is about Rowan again, but did anyone notice that Rowan was the first grounder to bow down after Clark bowed down to Lexa during that summit meeting? And I'm wondering if him bowing down first is a sign that he is taking if he's following Clark's lead, I guess I could say, more so than he would follow Lexa or his own mother. I don't know, it's just in that moment, I got a feeling that maybe he was looking to Clark for answers or looking to Clark for actions, kind of like how Bellamy did back in season 1 when he says, "Looking to you, princess," about what to do next with the Grounders coming. So I'm just wondering if maybe we're going to see Rowan actually aligning himself with Clark more so than his own mom or Alexa. I'm hoping so. I'd love to see the two of them on the same team, but he's still Ascaida right now, so we'll have to wait and see. Next question. If Arcadia were to have that election that Kane and Abby agreed upon during the trading area of Polis, who do you think the people of Arcadia will vote for? Part of me wants to laugh and think that they're going to vote for Clark because fanfiction has Clark being the unofficial leader, so I'm wondering if they'll make that canon, but it'll be interesting to see just what type of leader Arcadia wants. And another question, last one that I just thought of now, and it was actually brought up in one of the fanfiction stories I was reading. I was actually reading a lot of them during this past week because of the whole Bellark situation we got. But it was mentioned the fact that since Clark is considered Waheda, the commander of death, mainly because of what she did back at Mount Weather, are they ever going to bring up the fact that Clark was not the only one who gave the command to kill everyone in Mount Weather? Because if you remember, Bellamy was also there. And if it weren't for Monty, who manipulated the system in order for them to make the call to kill off the mountain men, then he could also be considered. So technically speaking, you have 3 Wahedas. You have Clark, you have Bellamy, and then you have Monty. So I'm just wondering if they're ever going to bring that up, or if it's because Clark is kind of the unofficial leader, with Bellamy kind of like her second in command, then maybe that's why they're just giving her the Waheda title, and not acknowledging the fact that Bellamy was also there to make the call with her, as well as Monty providing the assist in allowing that call to be made. So I'm just wondering, curious, because I definitely, while it makes sense, while a lot of people assume it's Clark and give that sole title to one person, but it'd be interesting if they actually brought up the fact that she didn't act alone in that final moment. So there's that. Okay, so predictions now. Based off of the promo for episode 304, it looks like Arcadia is preparing for war. Understandably so. To what extent, I'm not sure. I have to go check it out again. But according to the synopsis for the episode, it looks like Clark is going to be making a few discoveries about this master plan being made. I'm thinking more along the lines of her discovery in Mount Weather when she found all the Grounders caged up. So I'm thinking it's going to be like one of those moments. But question is, who is the secret going to be that she discovers? So there's that. Predictions overall, I am hoping for an alliance between Clark and Rowan. I really want that to happen for some reason. I don't know why. But I see potential there for sure. Next prediction is that there are going to be tensions brewing within Arcadia. I sense alignment shifting, especially with I think it was half of Farm Station that was inside Mount Weather. So with them dead now, the rest of Farm Station is going to be furious. So like, maybe they might not want to align with Arcadia because once they came back to Arcadia, that's when their numbers diminished. So I sense that happening. Also, the season promos show Pike leading the charge and implications of inside traders within Arcadia. So there's that. Another prediction is we're going to see more grounder culture. We saw some training footage with the grounders. We saw their their barter and trade system. We saw inside their city limits. So it'd be great to see just how much more of that we're going to get exposed to. So I can't wait to see that. Another prediction, Raven's procedure. St. Clair mentioned it, but now that Mount Weather's blown up, wondering if that's still an option for Raven, but apparently they have some sort of way that could help her, or at least alleviate the pain, maybe. Not sure. Another prediction. This episode didn't have anything to do with the City of Lights, so we're definitely going to dive right into that at some point. We need answers on what exactly it is, whether it's a mental paradise for them, or if it's an actual virtual reality type thing, or if it's an actual place that they can actually step into. Who knows? We definitely need answers for that. And that's about it. So what did you guys think of the episode? Is what you thought was going to happen? Did anything else surprise you? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out all my other videos if you haven't done so already. And also, check out my Tumblr page. Links for those will be down below. And I tried to organize it as best as can, but I'm pretty sure the 100 is like my most reblogged show that I follow. So you could definitely find pretty much anything having to do with that. But I reblog episode synopses, GIFs, dialogues, quotes, sneak peeks, fan-made videos that I find on YouTube that I like. I reblog it back to there to share it with you guys to show, hey, I like this one. So check that out. Link for that down below. And also, since I'm telling you links and stuff, I am going to recommend a fan fiction story. Now, during this last week, because of what happened with Bellamy and Clark almost reuniting in episode 302, I was searching for any stories that picked up off of that, or did an observational thing around it, or something along those lines. And I found quite a few, but there's this one that I read today, which I thought was just perfectly spot on, and it's just absolutely amazing. It's on the site AO3. I think it's the archive of our choice website. I just know it as AO3. And it's under the name When the Strong Break, and it's by AJ Redfern. I'll put the link for that down below, or I'll put the name of it on screen so you can go search it for yourself. It's basically the events of 301 and 302 from Kane's perspective when he's observing Bellamy's behavior within the last 3 months, as well as his reaction to hearing about Clark being hunted and everything that follows to that, all the way up to 302. And I thought it was just beautifully written, really spot on, and it really hit me in the Bellark feels. So I just thought it was freaking amazing for sure. And if that author happens to watch my video, then you got like kudos, a double thumbs up and whatnot. Is like the highest 5 stars, whatever. But I definitely advise you to go check it out if you are a Bellark fan. Even if you're not, it was great writing. So I'm just gonna leave it there. And yep, that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. And I hope you guys come back next week to see what I have to say. So until next time, this is Mel. Wishing you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.